Here we go, twin mamas. Let's talk about twin babies. Yay! But first, let me introduce myself. I'm Aubrey Apple, and welcome to my tube of living to your highest potential. The sun. Ah. Okay, what really helped me is these three things. Let's talk about it. The most important thing that I could absolutely share with you guys, as Maya Angelou once said, once you learn, teach. And here I am teaching you guys and how I did it. My daughters are 4 years old now and they are thriving, and I'm thriving, and I want to share the love out there to fresh mamas who have twin kids. Let's get started. One of the things that really help is that I put them on schedule. I'm not one to read self-help books. I mean, they are amazing now. I love them. I cannot get away from them. But before, when I was a fresh mom, all I read is novels, right? Eat, Pray, Love, The Help, and all those other amazing novels. Then I was going down the drain, and I noticed my self-help book with Baby Wise, again, Baby Wise, on the counter, and I started reading it. And it gave me some points that I did not even thought of. Putting babies in schedule was definitely the main goal of the book. It is meant for one baby, but whole concept applies to twins as well. You just have to incorporate it. Now what I did is that I put them exactly on the same schedule so that they wake up at the same time, they sleep at the same time, so it helps me a lot. Schedule is like my rock. It was like when I first went through the whole notion of being a mom, I did not even think about schedules. I just kind of winged it, and that really, I never had the time to shower or have a moment to myself, and I was having that things called postpartum blues, and that did not even exist in my vocabulary because I did not know what that is. Back where I come from, depression is like, what is that? Right? So when I started feeling kind of overwhelmed, I picked up the book and I decided to follow it. The child has to go on a certain schedule. You have to wake them up in a certain time. You also have to feed them in a certain time. And I logged, and this is one more thing, log every single hours that your baby eats, sleep. It really helps. Now, I was more like, I'll remember. No, I did not remember. And really, I have this $1 book. I put one baby schedule and second baby schedule, and I was very, very overwhelmed. So when I needed to know a certain time, when they woke up, or how, the book will explain it more to you if you wanted to check it out. Again, it's called Baby Wise. I just simply go back to my book, know exactly what time one baby went to sleep, and know exactly what time the second baby went to sleep and wake up, and the food and all those scheduling. Now for the 2 weeks that they have all this weekly schedule for you, the book, and I followed everything. And within 2 weeks my babies was in schedule. They were both sleeping together, and they were both waking up at the same time. And it might not work for a lot of babies, but it worked for me when I wake up both of them at the same time. Sometimes I would give one extra minute, like 5 to 10, but I can't have one sleeping longer than 30 minutes, or actually for me it's 10 minutes. I can't have one baby sleeping more than 10 minutes. This is because I need them to actually be awake and sleeping at the same time, so I get my free time. Now it is a little bit difficult at the beginning, but if you wake up a sleeping baby, which is like nightmare, right? Like, oh, they're sleeping and I'm gonna wake them up. You have to wake them up. You have to wake them up, because if you don't wake them up in a certain time that they're scheduled to wake up, then it takes away the second nap time, and then it's just kind of like a train reaction, right? So I learned that. So I just kind of like, okay, I gotta wake them up, and then when it's time to sleep, they both sleep together, and it was like, ah. Right? I was able to do yoga. I was able to shower. Yeah. I was able to eat. Eat. I know, right? Wow. I remembered. I didn't eat much then because I didn't have the time. I did not have the time to eat. I was on the go. Even if I was in the house, I was always on the go, and eating was such a luxury. Wow. Now, the second thing is when people offer help, take it, right? Because most parents would be like, no, I got it, no, I got it. No, I was like, here's my baby, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Please watch them. Every time my families are in town, especially my mom, oh my gosh, I would just go. I would literally just like, Mom, here's your grandchildren, I'm gonna go. Always ask for help. It helped me a lot when I asked for help. I asked neighbors, I asked my mother all the time to come visit me here in Maui, and just every time she visits, I would just leave the girls with her. And also, I went to the Philippines. When I needed help, I asked the doctor for clearance to fly my daughters in the Philippines. Yes, international flights with 2 months old. That was absolutely necessary for me, for my well-being and for my daughter's well-being as well, because I live here in Maui by myself with the daughter's dad, and he is working full-time, and I was left with them all day, and I needed that extra help. So I grew up in a community in the Philippines where everybody helps each other when it comes to baby raising. It takes a village, you guys. It is true. Now, when the doctors gave me clearance to fly, I flew back home, and I asked my aunt and my aunt's friend to help me with my daughters full time. Now, help or nanny or babysitter is absolutely cheap in the Philippines. Now, I gave them $100, which was absolutely ridiculously generous for them, for a month, $100 a month to help me 24/7 with my daughters. And that's not cheap for them. That's absolutely generous for them. I just wanted to tell that to everybody. Help is very, very much common thing in the Philippines. I grew up with a nanny as well. I grew up with helps, and my great grandmother have help 24/7, and it's a common practice in the Philippines to have help. Now, when I went home, I have aunts and uncles and friends to help me with my daughters, and I took that help full-heartedly. I wasn't like, oh, I feel bad. No, don't feel bad. Now, one of the things why I really needed to go home is because I didn't quite feel comfortable joining a group mom. I've heard about group moms, and there's nothing wrong with group moms. It's just it didn't work for me. Unless you're my friend and we have history together, I don't really talk much about anything outside my circle of friendship. I don't go, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I didn't feel comfortable going outside social media asking for help. So I did what I think was best. I went home, and I had high school friends in there who are also mothers. I have aunts, and also grandmother and my great grandmother who have raised me was around there too. And during that time of everybody helping me, it helped me become stronger as a mother. And when I came back home after 3 months of staying in the Philippines, I was ready. I was ready on my own. I was ready to take them on the beach by myself. And even if I was in the beach, I still asked for other friends, other people too, like aunties that I kind of know here and there, to watch them for a little bit so I could grab something in the car. Always ask for help. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. It doesn't make you look weaker at all. No, 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 no. It's just natural for people to help. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. Third thing is give your, and along with this, do not worry about what other people say, because when you do you, sometimes people are gonna have a lot of opinion about why you do certain thing. I absolutely have a lot of those voices as well, why I'm surfing, why I do certain things. and a lot of people have been judging me, and that's okay for me because um, I know me, I know what's best for me, and that is what I'm trying to tell you also, is that you know you more than anybody else. Now, if you need some mani and pedi time, do it. Don't worry about what your partner would say or what your friends would say or your mother-in-law would say. I have a lot of I have a lot of unnecessary judgment that went along with me trying to take care of myself. I would go to the gym and I would get judged for that. I would go surfing and I would get judged for that. And even if my daughter's father would say, why don't you go to the gym or why don't you go surfing, he would let me do certain things. He would still at the end of the day would judge me for taking some time. And it doesn't come up at that moment, it comes up after. And it's absolutely ridiculous how I would hear about it. But after time, I realized they're gonna have some opinion and it doesn't matter. It's disempowering to you and you don't have to take it, not at all. Because when you take time for yourself, you're trying to improve yourself. And their opinion is very disempowering and you don't have to take it, not even one bit. Any time with yourself is absolutely necessary as well of being a mother, especially for my sake, being a twin mom. I go a lot in the beach. I also go a lot in the ocean, snorkeling and also surfing. And that's just who I am. Now, when you find out who you are, what helps you, do it. Don't make excuses. Don't judge yourself. My daughter's father's mom was visiting. She's not my mother-in-law. She would tell me that she's gonna help me because I don't mind her helping at all. But then she would say, why don't you go out and go to the gym or go for a run? And then afterwards she would say something like, she went for a run and she's taking too long. That is like, what? You just told me to go for a run and you're telling your son that I went for a run for too long. That is not like, I just accepted it. And I took care of myself. And at the end, I accelerated, I empowered myself. And once I started to realize that people will have their own opinion, you don't have to take it. You really don't. Everybody have their own opinion. Even my parents have their own opinion about why I do certain things. And most of it comes down to why I surf too much. It is like, I can't describe it. I know people who surf, that's mothers, could probably explain it better, but my best way is that when I'm in the water, it balances me physically, mentally, emotionally, and especially when I'm catching waves, it's like therapeutic. And everybody has their own way of rejuvenating, and mine was surfing. And it's hard to explain for other people who are non-surfers that that's exactly what it's doing to me. It's helping me rejuvenate and it's helping me grow. With surfing, I've also become more patient with my daughters, and that at the end of the day, you are okay. It helps you become a good mom. It helps you have this capacity to love, because if your cup is not full, you can't give anything. If you're empty, you can't give anything. Just make sure to take care of yourself and don't judge yourself when you're loving yourself, because this is all about a balance, right? It's all a balance. I hope this helps you a lot out there, twin mamas. Again, the 3 things is, make sure you put your babies on schedule, and the second thing is, ask for help, and the third thing is, take some time for yourself. Do not judge yourself for wanting to have some moment with yourself, even just a beach walk or walking in the park or just cruising in the mall. Don't worry about what other people say. Again, I'm Aubrey Apple, and thank you for watching my tube of living to your highest potential. Exit. Do it. Don't worry about what other people say. They're gonna say it. You just have to take care of yourself. You can't give your daughters or your son any love if you don't have love for yourself. As simple as that.